Chapter 72. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The 5 giant dragons covered with black lightning fell from the sky. They fell to the ground at a very fast speed, and a dazzling black light bloomed in the army of Luin village. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The 5 black dragons transformed by lightning instantly turned into countless small lightning dragons after landing, shuttling among the army of Luin village. The Luin village ninjas at the center of the spread turned directly into human-shaped charcoal. Those who were a little further away were not so lucky. They would still be affected by the black lightning. They would either die or be injured. Of course, the worst were the 5 Luin village kages who rushed to the front. They were in the center of the lightning, and they were the most miserable at this time. They had strong vitality and recovery ability, but their skin and flesh were torn apart in an instant, and the smell of cooked meat spread all around. They fell to the ground and their life or death was unknown. Who is this person? He is really strong. Uchiha Minghua, who had recovered a little, stood up in front of the Uchiha and looked at the back of the boy. The power and momentum emanating from the boy's body frightened him. Ah, I remember, his name seems to be Bailuhu. Bailuhu? The disciple of Master Guang, who left Konoha for a long time after being accepted as a disciple by Master Guang. It turned out to be Master Guang's disciple. Uchiha Minghua immediately understood. Luin village has retreated. And Uchiha exclaimed, "Captain, should we chase after him?" "Forget it, treat the wounded first." After saying that, Uchiha Minghua walked towards Bailuhu, but Obairu disappeared from his sight in an instant, so fast. Uchiha Minghua saw that Obairu didn't want to pay attention to him, so he had to give up and turn to rescue other tribesmen. On the other side, how could Konoha have such a terrifying person? That bastard Danzo gave me false information. Shikigaki of Luin village recalled that before the war, a guy who claimed to be Danzo had come to him. He claimed that Konoha's black light had left the village, and the fire country was now at a time when its combat power was empty. It was the best time to compete for the resources and land of the fire country. Shikigaki thought for a long time and decided to adopt Danzo's opinion. But the situation he was facing now was completely inconsistent with the information provided by Danzo. While running away quickly, Shikigaki decided to go back and tear that Danzo into pieces with gritted teeth. He released his perception and checked the surroundings. He was relieved to find that there was no chakra fluctuation. Finally escaped. Shikigaki wanted to vent his inner depression at this moment, but at this moment, a voice like the death god of hell sounded behind him. Lava escape, lava sky. Hearing this voice, Lu Ying's heart tightened suddenly, and he turned his head to look at the sky in disbelief. The scene in the sky made his hair stand on end instantly. He saw a big hand made of lava falling from the sky. It was slapping him. Oh my god. Lu Ying had no time to think about where the pursuers came from, and his feet immediately accelerated again. He released chakra with all his strength, and the deer-shaped phantom outside his body shone brighter. But even so, Lu Ying still felt a sense of crisis in his heart. Am I really going to die here? During the escape, Lu Ying had completely lost the high spirits when he attacked the land of fire, and all that was left was the fear of Konoha. Secret technique, deer-elephant barrier technique. Lu Ying immediately formed a seal quickly, and a hexagonal formation appeared under his feet, and hundreds of deer-elephant summoned beasts turned into light and gathered towards the sky. Soon, a deer-shaped phantom covered the entire sky and collided violently with the falling giant lava hand. Bang! The ground under Lu Ying's feet shook rapidly a few times. At this gap, Lu Ying accelerated again, allowing him to escape a long distance. Boiling escape, 1,000 steaming water kill. Bailu, who raised his hand, and a large amount of water vapor sprayed out from his palm. The speed of water vapor emanation was very fast, and it quickly enveloped Lu Ying at a speed that could not be seen by the naked eye. The fear in Lu Ying's heart deepened a little. In this short period of time, the strong man who was chasing him released 4 attacks of different attributes. Each of them was similar to the blood limit ability. No, I can't die here. Lu Ying, who was only thinking about escaping, had lost the heart of a strong man. Like a frightened deer, his heart was filled with fear. Facing the water vapor wrapped around him, he completely forgot to use any means to resist. He only focused on accelerating. Speed up again. Unfortunately, his speed was ultimately no match for the speed of the water vapor spreading, and he could only watch helplessly as it enveloped him. then he felt the temperature around him soaring sharply, puff puff puff. The water vapor that gathered together suddenly exploded. Lu Ying felt his breathing stagnate, then he had difficulty breathing, and a burning sensation appeared in his chest. As the temperature around him continued to rise, Lu Ying felt that all his strength was being drawn out of his body again, and a severe burning pain spread throughout his body. Finally, he fell to the ground with unwillingness, anger and fear. Bang! Lu Ying's body hit the ground heavily. There was no intact part on the surface of the corpse. Lu Ying raised his head with difficulty and looked at the black shadow in front of him. Don't kill me, Nether escape, absorption technique. Without a second of hesitation, Beiliohu raised his hand and a diamond pattern appeared, and then quickly grew larger. Soon it enveloped Lu Ying's whole body. Shikakage felt that the remaining chakra in his body was disappearing quickly. No, Shikakage swallowed his last breath with his eyes wide open. His head hit the ground heavily, his body shrank quickly and turned into a mummy. Beiliohu withdrew his hand, without even looking at Shikakage's body, and disappeared instantly. When Shikakage's shrunken body was discovered by Uchiha. Several hours had passed. When seeing the body, the Uchiha could not hide their shock. Soon Shikakage's body was brought back to the Uchiha camp. Uchiha Minghua and other ninjas were also shocked when they saw the body. So strong, even Kage level can be easily killed. An Uchiha sighed. Is this the true strength of Master Guang's disciple? Another Uchiha sighed. Beiliohu. Uchiha Minghua silently repeated the name in his heart. Captain, the people of Luin village have already escaped from the border. Just as everyone was looking at the body of Lying, an Uchiha scout appeared in front of Uchiha Minghua. How many of them are left? I haven't counted them in detail, but there should be thousands of them. We can go home. Uchiha Minghua walked out of the tent and said while looking at the sky. When the other Uchiha heard this, they couldn't hide their joy of surviving the disaster, but it was soon replaced by anger. The sacrifice made by the Uchiha this time was too great. More than 300 Uchiha clan members left their lives here forever. They should have enjoyed a brilliant life, but ended their lives in the war. Many Uchiha clan members clenched their fists. Captain, I don't want to go back. Yes, I don't want to go back either. And me. Where else can we go? Uchiha Minghua sighed. We can go to Master Guang. But will the higher-ups agree? I don't care about that anymore. I don't want to stay there anymore. Okay, let's go to Master Guang. If someone has to bear the consequences, I'll take the blame for everyone. At this moment, Uchiha Minghua finally figured it out. If he continued to stay in Konoha, he would only die. Chapter 73. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The battle was a turbulent one, as the news that the Deer Country Ninja Army was killed by Beiliohu for thousands of people was reported back to Konoha, and then spread to the entire ninja world. The second ninja world war that swept the entire Naruto world suddenly came to an end. All the ninjas from the Grass Country, the Sound Country, and the Bear Country who were fighting with Konoha evacuated the border overnight and returned to their own hidden villages. The defeat of Hanzo of the Rain Country also hastily ended the war against the Iron Country. All the Rain ninjas withdrew from the Iron Country to the Rain Country to passively defend against attacks from other countries. The Wind Country also urgently withdrew to the Wind Country because of the death of the third Kazekage. The offensive target was turned to the Bird Country, the army of the Hidden Cloud Village, which was withdrawn from the border of the Land of Lightning, headed directly to the Land of Water. The Hidden Cloud Village did not give up, because of the backstab of the Land of Water. The third Raikage was extremely angry. The Land of Earth also pointed its spearhead at the Land of Grass, which launched a surprise attack. However, the war did not last long and ended in a whimper. In this war, all countries fought a lonely battle. No one got the resources and land they wanted, and some countries even lost the shadow of a village and several strong men who had been trained for more than 10 years. After the end of World War II, all countries hibernated again, temporarily retracted their ambitions, and waited for the next opportunity, and now they can only slowly lick the wounds left by the war. After experiencing a painful memorial service, everyone in Konoha returned to normal life, but some people can't go back to the past. For example, the Uchiha clan. Under the call of the current clan leader Uchiha Sanue, the Uchiha clan meeting was opened. The content of the meeting was exactly about the dilemma faced by the Uchiha this time. Just as Uchiha Minghua thought, some people still disagreed to leave Konoha. Some elders who had experienced the Madara era still had fantasies about the position of Hokage, but others were already extremely disappointed with Konoha. The next day, some Uchiha clan members left Konoha secretly with their clan members, regardless of the opposition of the family leaders. Among them were Uchiha Minghua and 2 other Uchiha clan members who had just awakened the Mangekyō Sharingan. However, this did not have any impact on Konoha. The most discussed thing in Konohagakure was the few strong men who made the greatest contributions to this ninja world war. After the war, various countries made statistics on the strong men of Konoha who emerged in the Konoha War. The first Hitaki family member after Hitaki Sakumo, another Hitaki genius Hitaki Sui, whose special swordsmanship was the best in the ninja world. The second disciple of Nara Hikari, Kato Dan, defeated the demigod of the Rain country, Hanzo, and many strong men of the Rain village, and possessed the bloodline limit ability to control souls. The third disciple of Nara Hikari, Hiriko, killed the shadow of the village of Deer Country, and killed 5 shadow-level strong men of Deer Village. He had 5 bloodline limits alone, shocking the entire ninja world. The fourth disciple, Hideyoshi, killed the 3rd generation of Kazekage, and blocked Chiyo, Ebizo and other strong men of Sand Village alone, and possessed a special secret monster ability. The 5th disciple, Tsunade, influenced the battlefield trend of the Fire Country and the Earth Country alone, and suppressed the 3rd generation of Tsuchika Janoki and other strong men, and possessed another special ability different from the Senju family. The 6th, 7th, and 8th disciples are Orochimaru, Jiraiya, and Marino Ishizumi. In the subsequent war in the territory of the Rain Country, these 3 people once again encountered Hanzo, who was guarding the country. Under the premise that Hanzo was afraid of Konoha's strength, he only defeated 3 people, did not kill them, and also gave them the classic title of 3 ninjas. It was considered a face for Konoha. The 9th one was Shimura Nemoro, the only member of the Shimura clan who stayed in Konoha. He had a very strong wind escape ability. He blocked several large-scale attacks from the Bear Country and tied with the Bear Shadow of the Bear Country's Bear Village. The 10th one was beyond everyone's expectations. It was Nara Shikabane, a member of Nara Hikari's clan. He was the military advisor arranged by the Nara family to be by Hiruzen's side when he just took the position of Hokage. Before the outbreak of World War II, Hiruzen arranged for him to go to the Rain Country for surveillance with his old partners Yamanaka Shiki and Akimichi Choshi. Later, World War II broke out completely, and the 3 were arranged to resist the army of the Sound Country's Sound Village. Unexpectedly, Nara Shikabane did not sit in the rear, but led the Konoha troops to directly raid the Sound Village camp, and achieved good results. In the following war with the hidden Sound Village, Nara Shikabe showed great strength. With a special secret technique, he was able to defeat the hidden Sound Village in just the second battle, killed the Sound Shadow alone. The war between the Kingdom of Sound and the Kingdom of Fire came to a stalemate. These 10 were called the 10 heroes of Konoha by various forces. They became famous for a while, but then something happened that shocked the ninja world even more. 7 of the 10 heroes, Hitaki Tsukuya, Kato Dan, Hiriko, Hideyoshi, Tsunade, Shimura Namuro, and Nara Shikaku left Konoha directly after the war. Joined the newly established Kingdom of Light. When this news came out, some people were happy and some were worried. The happy thing was that the various forces were less afraid of Konoha. The worried ones were the top leaders of Konoha, Hiruzen, Mito Kato-en, and Akimichi Tofu. The most complicated one was Akimichi Tofu, Ino, Shika, and Cho never separated during the Warring States period. And now all the members of the Nara family have completely left Konoha. More than half of the Yamanaka clan has also left. The Akimichi family was still forced to stay in Konoha by Akimichi Tofu. The Inoshikacho clan existed in name only. Of course, these had no effect on Nara Hikari's daily life. Every day, apart from accompanying his wife and children, he dealt with some intelligence from the Light Pavilion. Are you still busy? Just as Nara Hikari was flipping through the scroll in his hand, a familiar voice sounded in front of him. Nara Hikari looked up. It was one of his wives, Aburame Tsuna. It will be done soon. Nara Hikari continued to check the scrolls on the table. My brother came to see you. Are you talking about ambition? Yes, it's him. He came to see me. He asked to go to the bounty department on his own initiative. He also asked for this himself. Nara Hikari's words made Aburame Tsuna extremely angry. Why didn't this brat come to me? How is he now? This brat did something big. What? He killed the Kage of the Grass Country's hidden grass village. When did it happen? Just a few days ago. Yes, this kid didn't waste my financial support. So you gave him the money. Nara Hikari pulled Aburame Tsuna to sit on a stool at the side. Yes, I gave it to him. Can you tell me how he is doing now? Okay. Aburame Tsuna decided to tell Nara Hikari about Aburame's ambition, but just as Aburame Tsuna was about to speak, a member of the Light Pavilion appeared in the office. Pavilion Master. What's the matter? Pavilion Master, civilians suddenly poured into the Light Country. Let's go and take a look. Chapter 74. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two of them were so busy that they had to wait for the next day. Nara Hikari took Aburame Tada and walked outside. When Nara Hikari arrived at the beach, he saw many large and small boats docked on the shore. Nara Hikari and Aburame Tada walked forward. A member of the Hidden Light Village who was in charge of patrolling came to greet Nara Hikari immediately. Hitachi, well, what's going on? When we were patrolling this morning, we heard a noise here, and they were already here when we arrived. Have you found out who they are? We have already found out. They are all refugees who claim to have fled here. They said they want to join our Kingdom of Light. We have checked and found that they are all ordinary people without chakra. Well, Nara Hikari walked up to these people. He took a quick look and saw tens of thousands of people. Most of them were men, with women accounting for only a small portion. Let them go ashore. Yes. Swoosh, swoosh. Others who had just arrived helped to maintain order. These tens of thousands of people were very cooperative. They stood there honestly after going ashore. Not long after, Tachibana and her men arrived here. Who are these people? They want to join the Light Pavilion. Oh. Let's put these people on the west side of the island, where there is a large open space. Okay. Tachibana left. Nara Hikari looked at the crowd. When the Kingdom of Light was first established, no one was considered to have anyone take the initiative to join here. The area of the island is actually not very large, counting all the members of the Nara family, as well as the Konoha family members and Konoha civilians who came here together. It already occupies a large part of the island. Now that these tens of thousands of people have been arranged, it may be the limit of the island. However, Nara Hikari looked at the women walking in the crowd. They were all moving rewards. Nara Hikari was not willing to refuse. Aburame Tianwei on the side kept rolling her eyes. She looked at Nara Hikari's expression, and she knew what this guy was thinking again. Then Aburame Tianwei sighed again. This philandering guy. Madam, let's go back. It's a bit cold at the seaside. I'm afraid you'll get frozen. Aburame Tianwei turned her head and looked at Nara Hikari with a smirk, and rolled her eyes. She grabbed Nara Hikari's hand that was doing something bad. Yeah. The two returned to Nara's home. What followed was a deep and shallow exchange meeting. A few hours are omitted here. Congratulations to the host Chang for successfully getting pregnant, and reward a superhuman type Piao Piao fruit. The next morning, Nara Hikari just got up and heard the pleasant prompt sound of the system, floating fruit. Nara Hikari took the fruit out of the space. This fruit has no special appearance, but it looks very ordinary. But Nara Hikari knew it was not ordinary. Do you want to try eating it? Nara Hikari hesitated. In fact, he had long wanted to try whether he could eat more devil fruits. He hesitated at the beginning because he was not sure whether he would be okay after eating it, and his system would not answer any of his questions except the prompt sound. There was no excessive explanation for some things. Wouldn't it be terrible if the body had problems after eating it? However, Nara Hikari had already obtained too many coveted devil fruits. For example, the mythical beast species and the natural system are the abilities that Nara Hikari wanted. System. He said it silently in his heart, but still got no response. Fuck, fight. Light, what fight? Just when Nara Hikari decided to take a gamble by eating the floating fruit, Aburame Tianwei beside him woke up. She looked at Nara Hikari who had just talked to himself with doubt. It's okay, you go back to sleep. Are you hiding something from me again? After Aburame Tianwei finished speaking, several bugs crawled out of her body. Ah, it's okay, it's really okay, take it back quickly. Nara Hikari was startled. He hurriedly coaxed Aburame Tianwei to take the bugs back. The bugs crawled back into her body again. Nara Hikari felt a chill. Think about how he could do it in the first place. Who knows how hard he worked for a reward, devil fruit. Aburame Tianwei also noticed the fruit in Nara Hikari's hand. Having eaten one before, she naturally recognized it at a glance. Yes, I want to try if I can eat it too. Didn't you say that if you eat two, you might explode and die? I want to take a gamble. No, stop it. When Aburame Tianwei heard that Nara Hikari actually wanted to do such a bold thing, she was frightened and hurriedly stopped Nara Hikari's actions, but her speed was not as fast as Nara Hikari's. A large piece of the surface of the Piao Piao fruit was missing instantly. Nara Hikari swallowed the flesh directly. Boom. The unique energy of the fruit exploded in his body again. Nara Hikari's spiritual consciousness was pulled into the atrium again. Nara Hikari looked at the changes in his heart and almost fell down in shock. Bah! The heart in the shape of the explosion fruit actually extended a flesh ball, which quickly turned into the shape of the floating fruit in Nara Hikari's sight. At this time, the two beating hearts were in the atrium at the same time. Just when he wanted to take a closer look, a repulsive force squeezed his consciousness out. Feel the changes in himself. The energy in the body increased a little, the amount of chakra changed a little. But it still did not break through the limit of the super shadow level and enter the legendary 6 paths level. The body seemed to be restricted in some way. A wall blocked the way to promotion. Light, are you okay? Aburame Tianwei saw Nara Yoshimitsu opened his eyes and quickly went forward to check on Nara Hikari's condition. Nara Hikari looked at Aburame Tianwei's worried expression, and his heart was still warm. It's okay, it turns out that you can eat the second devil fruit. Ha, I'm glad you're okay. Aburame Tianwei breathed a sigh of relief. Do you want to try? No, I feel good now, I don't want to gamble. Aburame Tianwei directly refused. She didn't want to take risks. Okay then. Since you're okay. Aburame Tianwei got up and started to put on her clothes. Why are you getting up so early? Today is Narao's graduation from ninja school. I have to prepare a table delicious food. We have to celebrate for our eldest son. Okay, I'll help later. No, I can do it myself. Aburame Tianwei put on her clothes, blew Nara Hikari a kiss and left. Narao is the first child of Nara Hikari and Aburame Tianwei. Having inherited Nara Hikari's bloodline, the little guy has good talent. This year, Narao, who is 10 years old, also ushered in the day of early graduation. After Aburame Tianwei left, Nara Hikari could no longer suppress his excitement. He made the right bet, and he could really eat the second devil fruit, just don't know what will happen to the third one. After getting dressed, Nara Hikari also left the room. Chapter 75. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next day, Nara Hikari didn't have time to try out the power of the floating fruit. A group of people who were expected and unexpected came to the land of light. Uchiha, Uncle Yamadu, it's great that you can come to the land of light. Nara Hikari stepped forward enthusiastically and looked at Uchiha Yamadu in front of him. Uchiha Yamadu is an old generation of the Uchiha clan who has come from the Warring States period. He is a witness to history. He is also a very famous person in the Uchiha clan, but most of the more than 2,000 Uchiha clan members standing next to Uchiha Yamadu, Nara Hikari didn't know them, and had never seen them. Who are they? Light, let me introduce you. Uchiha Santo introduced these people to Nara Hikari. An hour later, Nara Hikari's CPU almost burned out. More than 2,000 Uchiha. Under Uchiha Santo's introduction, Nara Hikari felt a bit like reading the names of dishes. However, the dozen people standing in the front shocked Nara Hikari. He finally knew that all the families in Konoha were not as simple as they seemed. After Uchiha Madara left Konoha, the Uchiha clan showed its strength to the outside world with the elite jonin Uchiha Sanua, but now standing in front of Nara Hikari are more than 20 elite jonin, and there are as many as 5 Kage level. There is only one situation in which Uchiha can be promoted to Kage level, that is, they have opened the Mangekyō. Otherwise, the amount of chakra in the body always shows that it is an elite jonin, just like Nara Hikari's wife Uchiha Fumihuai. But now suddenly 5 Mangekyō Uchiha appeared in front of Nara Hikari at the same time. How could he not be surprised? Each pair of Mangekyōs will have 2 special abilities, plus a Gundam named Susanoo. it can be said to be very powerful in both attack and defense. Uchiha, you are really hiding deep, even Senju Tobarama was deceived. Nara Hikari suddenly doubted whether the night of genocide would happen again in this Naruto world. At this time, not all Uchiha clans have come to the Land of Light, and some of Konoha have not decided to leave. Nara Hikari guessed that there must be Uchiha with Mangekyō among them. Will Itachi be beaten by then? Since you are here, we are a family. I will prepare a piece of vacant land for you as the new clan land of Uchiha. Okay, then listen to Hikari. Yeah. Nara Hikari turned his eyes to the other side. 3 familiar little guys appeared in sight. Teacher. Uenima saw that Nara Hikari finally looked over. He hurried forward to greet him. Nara Hikari smiled and looked at the excited Uenima. I haven't seen you for a few months. You've grown taller. Not bad, not bad. Teacher, he was still so frugal with words. Yeah. Teacher, I finally see you. Zoro ran over with tears in his eyes and hugged Nara Hikari's thighs. Zoro, get out of here quickly. Your snot has rubbed on my clothes. Teacher, you don't know how much I miss you during this time away from you. Let's talk about it. Get out of here first. Oh. Zoro raised his hand to wipe away his tears and snot. Zoro, who's here? Nara Hikari pointed behind Zoro. Zoro slowly turned his head. Go away. Nara Hikari kicked Zoro on the butt. The latter screamed and flew out. This scene scared a couple standing in the crowd. Teacher, they are Zoro's parents. The attentive Uenima saw the expressions of Zoro's parents and hurriedly introduced them. Mr. Guan. Well, live here peacefully in the future. Thank you, Mr. Guan. Uenima also introduced Yi's father, and some of the Yuan-E clan members who came to the Land of Light with Uenima. Naraguang greeted them one by one. Naraguang sensed the current realm of the 3 students. All of them have been promoted to jonin. Naraguang nodded with satisfaction. Then Naraguang's eyes fell on the woman who stood behind the 3 little ones before. Who is this? Mr. Guang, I am the new leader of your disciples. My name is Yakumo Yukari. Naraguang released his perception again. Elite jonin. This is a name that Naraguang has never heard of. It must be very hard to lead the 3 of them. No, the 3 of them are very talented. Actually, I didn't help much. They became jonins only because of their own efforts. Teacher Yakumo Yukari, don't be so modest. Are you here to join the Kingdom of Light, too? Yeah. Yakumo Yukari spoke in a low voice. Nara Hikari wanted to ask more, but felt a pain in his waist. Turning around, he happened to meet the murderous eyes of Aburame Tianwei. Nara Hikari had to swallow the rest of his words. Let's go to my house, have dinner, and then I'll arrange your accommodation. Okay. The group followed Nara Hikari towards the Nara family. Zoro jumped off the roof and limped behind. His eyes were full of resentment. Nara Hikari was able to get together with Uchiha Fumihuai because the Uchiha family saw Nara Hikari's hard power, so there was no resistance marrying women from the same clan out of the family, but at that time, Uchiha was just using Nara Hikari's intention. With Nara Hikari as a son-in-law, Uchiha had a say in Konoha, when Nara Hikari was still in Konoha. Uchiha's life did improve as they planned, but after Nara Hikari left Konoha, Uchiha's situation plummeted. Now, the mentality of facing Nara Hikari has changed drastically. Even the once arrogant Uchiha had to admit that Nara Hikari was now more powerful than they could imagine. Nara Hikari did not treat Uchiha badly, borrowed a piece of land in the clan land, and arranged the Uchiha group and the 3 little ones. At this moment, the Uchiha finally let go of their guard and let go of all the unpleasantness in the past. Everyone chatted happily during the meal. Uchiha Sanda looked at Nara Hikari with gratitude. Just as he was about to express his gratitude, Nara Hikari refused. I've said it before, you are a family from now on when you come here, so don't be so polite to me. Okay, a family. Uchiha Sanda toasted Nara Hikari. Uncle Sandu, I will arrange accommodation for you tomorrow, and after you are all settled, we will discuss your reception in the Kingdom of Light. What are you doing here? Yeah, I heard your words. Okay then. Another round of toasts and conversations. Everyone slowly dispersed. The Nara family had prepared a temporary residence for them. it was built overnight by a ninja with Earth attribute chakra. In fact, it didn't take overnight, it was completed in a few minutes. Early the next morning, Nara Hikari walked out of the room and took off into the air, looking for an uninhabited island on the sea. After several days of searching, Nara Hikari finally locked on the target, an uninhabited island with an area larger than the Kingdom of Light. Nara Hikari raised his hand to release the energy of the floating fruit, not moving. Nara Hikari increased the output of the fruit's energy. Boom, the ground shook, the entire uninhabited island began to shake, and the rocks connected to the seabed began to break and fall off. Then an island rose from the ground. Nara Hikari controlled it to fly towards the Kingdom of Light. Chapter 76. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Look what that is. The civilians of the Kingdom of Light who were working looked up at the huge black shadow in the sky. They didn't see what was in the sky until the dazzling sunlight was blocked. A huge rock. So big. As the island controlled by Nara Hikaru got closer and closer to the Kingdom of Light, more and more people found the strange floating in the sky. Until everyone saw the real appearance of the island, everyone was extremely shocked. This scene not only shocked the civilians. All the ninjas who were still on the island in the Kingdom of Light came to the roof and looked at the island getting closer and closer in the sky. Be alert, notify everyone on the island quickly, evacuate the crowd, quickly. A senior ninja from Hikari village began to assign evacuation tasks. He couldn't imagine what would happen if the island fell into the Land of Light. Just as everyone was about to leave, a voice came from the sky. Okay, everyone go about their business, don't make a fuss. Nara Hikari's voice rang out from the sky. Look, it's Master Hikari. It seems so. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief after seeing Nara Hikari. The island was already full of people at this time. What did Hikari do? Hikari, it seems like he can make an island fly. Nara Hikari's women began to discuss, and they knew where Nara Hikari's strange ability came from. After figuring it out, they were no longer surprised, but some people were not calm. The newly joined Uchiha and the civilians were so shocked that they couldn't speak. They never thought that someone could make an island fly, and they could fly in the sky for so long. Nara Hikari ignored the surprised people and his family. He controlled the island to the other side of the Kingdom of Light. Then he controlled the island to slowly fall. When the island fell into the sea, Nara Hikari released the propulsion force to block the seawater splashing towards the Kingdom of Light. Then he controlled the boulders under the island and quickly gathered together to drag the island. In this way, the two islands were connected together. This scene shocked everyone. Then Nara Hikari quickly disappeared from the spot. He did the same thing and made 4 more islands, and then put the 6 islands together to end it. Nara Hikari was very satisfied with his masterpiece. In this way, the Kingdom of Light has expanded more than 6 times. Nara Hikari landed on the ground. Uncle Sandu, you can choose a place as the Uchiha clan land. Okay. Uchiha Sandu was a little excited. More importantly, the powerful ability that Nara Hikari just showed simply refreshed his cognition. The remaining families were also allocated a piece of vacant land on the spot as their family land, so everyone left happily. Just when the Land of Light was in joy, some people were unhappy, the ninjas of the Hidden Mist village lurking near the Land of Light. The shocking scene they saw this time was immediately reported to the third Mizukage. At first, the third Mizukage didn't believe it, but when he came to the Land of Light in person, he was shocked by the miracle in front of him and couldn't speak, so when he turned around and left, he didn't say a word. Just when the Mizukage guards were puzzled by their shadow's sudden silence, the third Mizukage made a move that shocked the Hidden Mist village. A large number of specialties of the Hidden Mist village were prepared, and 2 women of upper-class appearance came to the Land of Light. Hitsu, the third Mizukage is here. Huh? Why is he here? Do you want to meet him? Let's meet him and see what he is up to. Nara Hikari brought Tachibana to the beach. Master. The third Mizukage saw Nara Hikari and immediately came forward to greet him with a very friendly attitude. I wonder why the third Mizukage suddenly came to the Kingdom of Light. Master, I'm here to give you a gift. Give you a gift? Let's talk somewhere else. Okay, follow me. Nara Hikari brought the third Mizukage to the reception hall of the Light Pavilion. After everyone sat down, the third Mizukage told the people behind him to put several large boxes on the table. These are all specialties from the Hidden Mist village. These are some gifts for the master. I hope the master will not dislike them. Then thank you, the third Mizukage. By the way, there is another big gift. And? The third Mizukage pointed to the two women beside him. These two are beauties from the Hidden Mist Village, and they are also given to the master. Nara Hikari looked at the third Mizukage in surprise. Master, are you dissatisfied? No, this gift is too expensive. Nara Hikari glanced at the two women. He was very satisfied with the appearance of the two women. One of them had purple hair, with special buns on both sides of her head, wearing brown clothes, delicate features, and a feeling of a beautiful girl from a small family. The other person formed a strong contrast with this, a capable short yellow hair, a red tight combat suit, a black windbreaker on the outside, big eyes with flaming red lips, mature and seductive. Release perception. Wow, two jonin. Nara Hikari sighed that the third Mizukage was really generous. The jonin also sent out, then thank you, the third Mizukage. Nara Hikari still thanked. There is no reason to send back the beauty that is delivered to your mouth. The two were silent for a few seconds. The third Mizukage is not just here to deliver things, right? The Land of Water is willing to be on good terms with the Land of Light for generations and will never betray it. Why don't you go to see the daimyo of the Land of Light? Instead, you come to me. Daimyo? TSK, he's also from your Nara family. Don't think I don't know who has the final say in the Nara family. The third Mizukage complained in his heart. I know that the pavilion master is the strongest in the Land of Light. Okay, I accept, but I also have a condition. The pavilion master said. If there is a commission from the Land of Water in the future, the Hidden Mist Village must not interfere. The third Mizukage was stunned for a moment. Aren't you stealing the job? Can't I stop you? Is my Hidden Mist Village going to starve? Okay. The third Mizukage wanted to curse in his heart, but he still agreed. Well, it's settled then. Okay. The third Mizukage took out a scroll. This is the contract scroll. If either party tears it up, they will be attacked by the contract god. The third Mizukage explained the function of the contract scroll. This aroused Nara Hikari's interest. In the world of Naruto, he only knew the god of death who controls the soul. He didn't expect that there is also a contract god who controls the contract. Okay. Nara Hikari bit his finger and pressed it without caring. The third Mizukage also bit his finger and pressed it at the same time. A ray of light appeared, and then turned into two rays of light, entering the bodies of Nara Hikari and the third Mizukage respectively. Nara Hikari suddenly felt a binding force appear in his body. Okay, since the matter is done, I will go back. The third Mizukage stood up and said goodbye. Okay. Nara Hikari sent the third Mizukage away and looked at the beautiful woman standing beside him. Chapter 77. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two of them were very respectful to Nara Hikari. You can stay at the Nara family. Yes, Master Hikari. The two were very respectful to Nara Hikari. I don't know your names yet. My name is Ringo Yuyuri. My name is Kurichu Wonmon. Nara Hikari was stunned for a moment when he heard the first name, and it took him a long time to remember who Linley Yuyuri was. In the original Naruto world, she was the second-generation ninja sword inheritor of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the Hidden Mist Village, the user of Thunder Blade Hya. However, Nara Hikari didn't recognize the other girl, the first-generation user of Thunder Blade in the original Naruto world, named Kurichu Raiga. I just don't know what the relationship between the two is. Let's go, I'll take you home. Nara Hikari stood up from the chair. Yes, Master Hikari. Okay, we are family from now on. You don't need to call me master. Just call me Hikari. Yes, Hikari. The two girls dragged the word Hikari for a long time, and Nara Hikari was speechless. After leaving the Hikari pavilion, Nara Hikari took them back to the Nara family. Of course, he still had to explain to his mother, but for some reason, his mother Nara Masami seemed to have gotten used to it. She didn't ask much, just glared at Nara Hikari, and took the two girls to separate rooms. With the expansion of the Land of Light, the clan land of the Nara family also expanded several times. Not only Nara Hikari's family was not enough, but the entire Nara clan was not enough. As time went by, the Nara clan is now prosperous and full of children and grandchildren. Children with laughter and joy can be seen everywhere in the Nara family land. the child born when Nara Hikari traveled through time and space has grown up. Since Nara Mitsuru took the position of the daimyo of the Land of Light, the population of the Nara family has increased several times. Nara Shikahira has also managed the Hikari village very well. This is also thanks to Nara Shikaku's clever little brain, much smarter than Nara Shikahira. Many people in the family have already secretly trained Nara Shikaku as the next head of the Nara family and the shadow of the Hikari village. Of course, when other members of the family learned about this, they all agreed with both hands. The son should inherit the father's business, never give it to others. Absolutely not. Nara Hikari sat in the room. He took out the captured beheading sword. He took out another animal-type devil fruit from the space. This time Nara Hikari did not take out an ordinary animal type, but a fantasy beast species, fox fruit, nine-tailed form. He raised the beheading sword and gently chopped on the devil fruit. The energy on the fruit began to gather towards the beheading sword. The fruit quickly withered and turned into debris scattered on the table. The beheading sword also began to change. It first flew out of his hand, spun in the air, and then stuck into the ground. A big hole was directly broken in the newly laid floor. Nara Hikari frowned, but he didn't have time to think about anything else. The beheading sword turned into a ball of yellow light at this time, and waited for the light to dissipate. A girl with 9 tails stood there. Do weapons have genders? The girl came to Nara Hikari. Master, woohoo, you can actually speak. Nara Hikari was very surprised. This was the first weapon that could speak. He guessed that it might be because the quality of the beheading sword itself was not low, and it also had a certain relationship. Nara Hikari sensed it. He was happy in his heart. The fruit energy in his body was full. Definitely has the strength of a super shadow. Change back. Yes, master. Nara Hikari watched the beheading sword change process at this time. It was nothing for the weapon to change into human form. But the human form changing into a weapon state made Nara Hikari a little evil. Put the beheading sword back into the system. Nara Hikari walked out of the room. First, find someone to repair the floor, then go to see his children. The next day, a person who had not been seen for a long time came to Nara Hikari's office in the light pavilion. White Zetsu, Master Hikari, what's the matter? Black Zetsu wants Master Hikari to go there. Oh, okay, lead the way. Yes, Master Hikari. White Zetsu slowly merged into the ground under his feet. Nara Hikari also merged into the shadow. When he appeared again, he was already in the Hikage village of the Land of Soldiers. Under the guidance of White Zetsu, Nara Hikari walked into the familiar cave again. Seeing you with tubes all over his body, Uchiha Madara, what happened to him? Master, his vitality has been fading quickly recently, and he may not be able to hold on for much longer. We can't let him die. I still want to see what Kagaya Otsutsuki looks like. My mother? Yes. Master, I will do my best. Black Zetsu was delighted to hear that his master wanted to revive his mother, and hurriedly promised to do his best to save Uchiha Madara. Leave it to you. Start capturing the 9-tailed beasts, and I will send the 4 tails to you last. Yes, master. Because Obito did not turn evil, no one implemented the Moon Eye plan for Uchiha Madara. Nara Hikaru, the planner of this matter, needs to find someone else. How is the development of the Akatsuki? Everything is going according to plan, and many rebel ninjas from various countries have joined, but I have my eyes on the Akatsuki members of the Hidden Rain village. Are you talking about Nagato? Yes, Uchiha Madara's eyes are with him. Okay, then you can do whatever you want. I will come to you again when Kagaya Otsutsuki is resurrected. Yes, master. Nara Hikaru said and merged into the shadow under his feet. After he left, Black Zetsu walked towards the dying Uchiha Madara. He took out a syringe filled with more Hashirama cells and pierced Uchiha Madara's neck. Soon, a tube of Hashirama cells was injected into Uchiha Madara's body, but Uchiha Madara did not gain life from this. Instead, his head tilted. He died. Black Zetsu was dumbfounded. He wanted to speed up Uchiha Madara's cell regeneration speed. Let Uchiha Madara live a little longer. Unexpectedly, he was killed directly. How can I explain this to the master? Black Zetsu was depressed. Black Zetsu, what did you do? How did you kill someone? What should I do now? Black Zetsu fell silent for a moment after hearing what White Zetsu said. Take the members of Tongxiangxiu and go see Nagato. Perhaps only his samsara I can save Uchiha Madara. That's the only way. I'll go now. White Zetsu went underground after saying that. Black Zetsu looked at Uchiha Madara's body. Hurry up and store his body well. Yes. Another White Zetsu beside him pressed his hands on the ground. Summoning technique. A coffin made of ice crystals quickly rose from the ground. This White Zetsu pulled out the tubes on Uchiha Madara's body and then carefully put it into the crystal coffin. Then he lifted the summoning technique. The crystal coffin turned into white mist and disappeared. Don't tell the master yet. I know. This White Zetsu looked at the depressed Black Zetsu. I hope Uchiha Madara will be resurrected soon. He said while rubbing his chin. Chapter 78. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two of them were in a cave somewhere in the kingdom of soldiers. Leader, do we have any mission to gather? The black shadow carrying a big knife asked, with a little excitement on his face. He has joined this Tongxiangxiu for a long time, but has not received any mission assigned by the leader. Ugly, shut up. If you want to lie down for a few more months, I don't mind fulfilling your wish. The black shadow standing in the front spoke coldly. The black shadow called Ugly immediately shut his mouth. Another black shadow stretched out his long tongue and licked his lips. A gloomy voice came out. Leader, are you going to take action against Konoha? No, then, I will assign the tasks, and you keep your mouth shut. Yes. Group Zicho, go to the land of lightning to capture the 8-tail and the 2-tail. Yes, leader. Group Yin Mao, you go to the land of water to capture the 7-tail. Group Chunsi, go to the land of water to capture the 3-tail and the 6-tail. Wu Wei, you go to the land of wind to capture the 1-tail. Shen Yu, you go to the land of earth to capture the 5-tail. Su Hai, you go to Konoha to capture the 9-tail. Leader, what about the 4-tail? As soon as the leader's black shadow finished speaking, a black shadow with a hunched back asked, you don't need to worry about this, just follow orders. Yes. Okay, let's all go. Shwa. All the black shadows disappeared instantly. The village of you in the land of hot springs. A man in the cave slowly opened his eyes. It's interesting to go to Konoha. The man looked at his hands. I wonder what the new ability is like. The man stood up and walked out of the cave. Just as he reached the exit of the cave, a young man came over. Master Shimura Shiro, the master wants to see you. Okay, I'll go now. This man was Shimura Shiro, who left Konoha before Shimura Danzo. He was also one of the only 3 people left in the Shimura clan. Master, you are looking for me. Congratulations on becoming immortal. This is all thanks to the master's help. Okay, now there is something you need to do. Please ask the master. There are fewer and fewer children in the church who can be used for experiments. Go and bring some back. Yes. Shimura Shiro agreed. This is a great opportunity to leave here. It's not that he doesn't want to leave directly, but there are a group of people here who are more powerful. He saw with his own eyes a guy who had just become immortal and was promoted to the level of Kage, and he was dissatisfied with the unreasonable arrangement here, wanted to kill the high-ranking officials here and leave Yuin village. Unfortunately, he was pinned to the ground and killed in just 1 round. Shimura Shiro had to find other opportunities to leave. Now the opportunity has come. Go down. Yes, master. Shimura Shiro turned and left. Shimura Shiro, who walked out of the master's building of Yuin village, jumped up and flew towards the dense forest in the distance. I'm coming to Konoha. King of Light, Hikari village, Hikari pavilion. Master, another special request for you. Let me see. Nara Hikari took the scroll handed over. You go down. Yes, master. After the members of Hikari Pavilion left, Nara Hikari opened the scroll, checked the content on it. King of Water. Missing population. Just as he finished reading the content on it, Tachibana walked in. You came just in time. I need to go out for a while. Ah, you're going out again. How many days have you been back? I'll be back soon. Nara Hikari handed the scroll to Tachibana. Tachibana looked down and checked. Yuin village. Missing people. Tachibana handed the scroll back after reading the contents. Thousands of children disappeared in a year, and all the people investigating this matter disappeared. There must be a very strong force behind it. Who is so bold? Well, since you found me, I naturally can't refuse. Well? Do you want to refuse, or do you want to go out and pick flowers and mess around? Who do you think I am? You are. Okay. Nara Hikari shrugged. When are you going? I'll leave in a while. Tell others that I'll be back soon. Ha. Tachibana snorted, twisting his butt and turning around to leave. Oh, you are so capable. Nara Hikari grabbed it, indescribable. In the evening, Nara Hikari said goodbye to the Kingdom of Light and flew towards the Kingdom of Hot Springs. With the ability of the float fruit, it is much more convenient to go out. You can use the shadow ability to go to places you have been to, and fly directly to places you have not been to. The flight consumption of the float fruit is much smaller than the drag force of the explosion fruit. The ability of the float fruit can control a large island to fly, but the propulsion force cannot do it. Soon Nara Hikari arrived at the Kingdom of Hot Springs. After landing on the ground, Nara Hikari prepared to find some people to ask how to get to the hidden hot spring village. Unfortunately, no matter how many civilians in the Kingdom of Hot Springs he asked, they didn't know where the village was. However, when Nara Hikari asked about the missing child, many people would sigh, and some would even shed tears silently. Obviously, the tears were because the children in their families had disappeared. Since asking around doesn't work, Nara Hikari can only use other methods. Find a place where there are no people. Shadow energy is released. Hundreds of shadow soldiers slowly rise from the shadows around, then they jump in front of Nara Hikari and kneel on one knee. Nara Hikari then takes out all the shurikens and kunai and throws them to the ground in the distance. A group of half-human and half-beasts transformed by ninja tools appear there. There are as many as 50 of them. Search the entire country of Soup and find a village with ninjas. The shadow soldiers and ninja soldiers transformed by ninja tools who received the order all disappeared on the spot. Big brother. Just as the shadow soldiers and ninja soldiers left, a girl's voice sounded behind them. Nara Hikari turned his head and looked at her. What's the matter? Are you investigating the reasons for the disappearance of people in the country of Soup? Yes, you know. No, I don't know. My sister is missing too. If you are investigating this, can you take me with you? Your sister. When did it happen? 2 years ago. It's been so long. The hope of finding her may be slim. It's okay, I want to try, please. The girl bent down, revealing the whiteness of her chest. Okay, I promise. Nara Hikari hurriedly agreed. The girl stood up. What's your name? My name is Yoshizawa Akiho. What did you say your name was? Yoshizawa Akiho. Big brother, is there anything wrong with my name? No. Oh. Yoshizawa Akiho was a little confused. Let's go find someone first. Yeah. Nara Hikari took Yoshizawa Akiho and walked away. On the way, Nara Hikari sensed that this was just an ordinary person. There was no chakra in the body. Soon, Nara Hikaru took Yoshizawa Akiho to find the client of the mission, a woman. Chapter 79. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The water was flowing, and the water was flowing. Nara Hikari looked at the waterfall behind the house. Who are you? A woman poked her head out of the yard. My name is Nara Hikari, and you sent the commission, right? It's Master Hikari. Come in, look at my eyes. The woman was overjoyed when she heard Nara Hikari introduce himself, and she walked to the fence door in 2 steps and opened it. Nara Hikari and Yoshizawa Akiho walked into the yard. Master Hikari, you are finally here. I have sent the commission for a few days, and I am looking forward to your coming. I have been busy recently. Nara Hikari looked at the woman in front of him. Although the woman looked old, her steps were steady and powerful. She did not give people the feeling of being old. Nara Hikari released his perception. Jonin. Nara Hikari did not expect that the woman in front of him was actually a jonin. Master Hikari, the reward is ready. I will give it to you. Please sit down first. Yes. The woman stood up and walked into the house. She walked out quickly with a package in her hand. She came to Nara Hikari and opened it. There were piles of banknotes inside. Master Hikari, this is the reward prepared for you. The woman pushed the package in front of Nara Hikari. Nara Hikari took a glance and put it away. Tell me, what's going on? What do you need me to do for you? Master Hikari is like this. The woman spent 2 hours telling this story. She broke down several times in the middle, tears burst out of her eyes, and she was choked and unable to speak. Nara Hikaru was not in a hurry, until the woman finished speaking. The woman's name was Asuka. She was originally the wife of Yuing from Yuin village in Yu country. The two of them founded Yuin village with a group of people who were tired of war. Yu country was originally a small country that lived in peace with the world. It was named after the large number of hot springs, but just after the First Ninja World War, a group of people suddenly broke into here. Since then, children from 2 to 10 years old have disappeared inexplicably in Yu country. The people of Yu country told the daimyo about this. The daimyo commissioned Yuing to find out about this. Just 2 years ago, Asuka suddenly received bad news. The news that Yuing died in battle somewhere in the country reached Asuka. Asuka hurriedly brought a group of ninjas from Yuin village to the place where Yuing died, but what they found was not only the body of Yuing, but also mysterious ninjas all over the mountains. They fell into an ambush set up by the other party. This was a trap specially prepared by this mysterious group of people for the people of Tangyin village. The two sides fought directly without saying a word. What shocked the ninjas of Tangyin village was that the other party had a perverted and tenacious vitality. Even if the head was chopped off, the headless body was still alive and kicking. Unless the entire head was destroyed, the enemy would really die. This group of mysterious people not only had this special ability, but also had super strong physical skills. The people of Tangyin village were quickly defeated, then they were ruthlessly slaughtered. The remaining Tangnins used their lives to cover Asuka and successfully left the Shura purgatory. Asuka returned to her original village with this hatred. She had several mental breakdowns and thought about suicide many times. In the end, she was saved by her full of hatred and unwillingness. In the past 2 years, Asuka has commissioned some strong people from the bounty agency many times, but no one is willing to take this job. Even the famous Kakuzu did not accept it. It was not until 2 years later that Asuka heard of Nara Hikari's name. As long as the reward was enough, Nara Hikari could personally take action. Asuka made a commission scroll and sent it to the Land of Light with a triad attitude. She did not expect Nara Hikari to really take action personally. Even if it was any of the former 10 heroes of Konoha, she felt that revenge was possible, but she never expected that Nara Hikari actually came in person. This commission was to destroy the new Yugikure village and restore the original peace of Yugikure country. Please, Lord Hikari. It's only right to do things for money. I want to ask where Yugikure village is. It's all my fault that I didn't make it clear. This group of mysterious people did not continue to use the original Yugikure village, and I don't know where the newly created Yugikure village is. Well, then we can only wait for their news. Nara Hikari's words made Asuka full of doubts. They? Who are they? It didn't take long for Asuka to solve her doubts. A voice came from outside, a sound of breaking through the air, then a figure appeared in the yard. There is news. Nara Hikari pushed open the door and came to the yard. Asuka and Yoshizawa Akiho followed him out. The half-man, half-beast transformed by the ninja tool, came to Nara Hikari. A scroll was handed to Nara Hikari. Nara Hikari took the scroll, opened it. There were only 3 words written on it. Found. Let's go, we have found it, lead the way. Nara Hikari said and walked out of the yard. Asuka and Yoshizawa Akiho followed behind. After everyone came to the outside of the yard, Nara Hikari released the energy of the float fruit. He carried everyone into the air. After reaching a high altitude, he flew in the direction indicated by the ninja tool. I didn't expect that Master Hikari could actually fly. Yeah. Asuka was even more shocked. She only knew that the 3rd Tsuchikage who was eliminated by bloodline in Rock Village of Land of Earth could fly. There was also the Sky Ninja of Sky Village of Land of Sky who once caused a sensation. She didn't expect that the legendary Nara Hikari could fly. On the other side, Yoshizawa Akiho was so scared that his eyes were closed tightly, and his little hands tightly grasped the corner of Nara Hikari's clothes. He was afraid that he would fall down. Soon a valley appeared in the field of vision. Across the valley, a building like a donut was seen, located on the other side of the valley. No wonder it's so hard to find. It turns out to be here. Nara Hikari brought Asuka and Yoshizawa Akiho to the ground, and then walked towards the strange-shaped building. Who is it? Just as they set foot here, a group of ninjas with cool looks and giant sickles in their hands gathered from all directions. Nara Hikari did not make a move. The ninja tool, walking on the side, had already taken off and flew towards the enemy. The hands of the ninja tool, in the air, instantly turned into claws and swung forward. A violent tornado appeared and flew quickly towards the opposite side. The fruit eaten by this ninja tool is the animal type bird fruit, hornbill form. Not only does it have the ability to fly, but it can also gather the fruit energy on its head and crash into the opponent, and it also has the ability to use wind. The enemy did not seem to have the intention to avoid the violent tornado, but rushed towards this attack frantically. Unfortunately, they underestimated the power of the tornado. They were blown away at first contact. The rolled-up sand and stones pierced their bodies like a sharp blade. Then it was just as Asuka said, these enemies, whose bodies were like sieves at this time, did not die immediately. Instead, they stood up straight, with a crazy smile on their faces. They continued to rush towards the ninja tool. Is it really immortal? The appearance of these people at this time reminded Nara Hikaru of someone. Hiden. Nara Mitsuru raised his finger, pointing at these immortal enemies. Explode. As Nara Mitsuru finished speaking, the heads of these immortal enemies exploded instantly. No matter how strong their vitality was, they became headless corpses at this moment. Chapter 80. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The enemy was so angry that he was about to die. Nara Hikari released the energy of the devil fruit and walked towards the depths of the New Yuin village with Asuka and Yoshizawa Akiho. Step by step, more and more enemies appeared around. Most of them were boys and girls, some were not even adults, but their mental states were surprisingly consistent. Red eyes, crazy, completely crazy. No matter how horrible the death of the one rushing in the front was, the ones behind still rushed towards Nara Hikari and others one after another. Nara Hikari also found something strange. When Nara Hikari passed through a corridor and came to the center of the circular building, his shadow soldiers and ninja soldiers had returned, appeared on the surrounding roofs. At this time, Asuka was so shocked that she couldn't speak. Nara Hikari's way of attacking refreshed her understanding of this ninja world. Just a casual touch would destroy an enemy. In her memory, she had never seen many people who could release ninjutsu without making hand seals in this ninja world, and what happened next made Asuka start to doubt herself again, whether she had been isolated from the world for too long. Ninja tools can actually turn into people. This is not a ninja tool, it is clearly a divine weapon. While Asuka was shocked, hundreds of shadow soldiers and dozens of ninja soldiers had joined the battle. With their joining, the enemies that appeared around were quickly killed. All the enemies in the center of the yard were cleared in an instant. Clear all the enemies here and move their bodies to the yard. Swoosh. As soon as Nara Hikari's order was issued, the shadow soldiers and ninja soldiers disappeared at a very fast speed. I don't know how long it took. Corpses were dragged out from every corner by the shadow soldiers. They were placed in the yard, at a speed visible to the naked eye. The center of the yard was filled with corpses. Boom! Just as everything was going according to plan, a house on one side exploded instantly. Wooden planks and rubble flew everywhere. Ninja soldier was driven back. A figure wearing a red coat and holding a red sickle followed closely behind and rushed out of the ruins. Nara Hikari looked there. His perception was released. Kage level. The figure that rushed out of the ruins had advanced Kage level strength. His aura spread around. The shadow soldier who was about to continue to rush into the house was pushed back by the air wave generated by this aura. Red energy was emanating from the figure. His state was a bit like that of Emperor Kai, who had opened the 8 gates of ninjutsu. However, this red energy was not blood vapor, but red chakra. The red chakra that puzzled Nara Hikari had no attributes. The red figure saw the corpses all over the ground. Since so many test subjects have been killed, I will continue the experiment with you. The figure waved the red sickle in his hand, and a sharp energy blade composed of red chakra flew towards Nara Hikari. You are so talkative. Explode. This time Nara Hikari did not even raise his fingers, directly released the energy of the fruit. The figure suddenly felt that something was wrong with the sickle in his hand, but just as he wanted to throw the sickle out, the sickle exploded. Like a bomb, it exploded in front of the figure. The flames generated by the explosion pushed the fragments of the sickle to splash around. Even though the figure had already felt that something was wrong, he quickly dodged the flames, but he could not avoid the sickle fragments, which instantly penetrated the figure's body. Even his head was no exception. Blood oozed from the holes. the feet of the figure quickly turned red, the body fell to the ground and became a corpse with many holes, killed instantly. After killing this enemy, Nara Hikari turned his eyes to the direction where the figure rushed out. There was a staircase leading to the underground. Let's go and have a look. The three ninja soldiers approached the staircase first. Nara Hikari led Asuka and Yoshizawa Akiho behind. After walking for a while, they found that this staircase was also a circular staircase. It rotated and led to the depths of the underground. As they went deeper, enemies would occasionally rush out, but there were obviously fewer than those outside. These may be the children they captured. Asuka looked at the child with red eyes rushing towards Nara Hikari and guessed. Yoshizawa Akiho clenched his fists. The ninja soldiers had no mercy on these poor children. Anyone who rushed towards him would be killed by the ninja soldiers. The soldiers were ruthlessly wiped out. These children have become mad beasts. After more than 10 minutes, Nara Hikari and the two girls finally reached the bottom. This is a spacious hall. And a group of people are sitting in the center of the hall. They are wearing red robes and red hoods. They keep muttering something, as if they are performing some special ritual. This is not a language that Nara Hikari is familiar with. I can't understand a word. At this moment, the surrounding ninja soldiers rush towards this group of people. Various abilities are released quickly. Secret technique, blood barrier. A figure raised his hand to release red chakra. Bang. When the attack of one of the ninja soldiers was about to fall on the crowd, a chakra barrier appeared in front to block the attack. All the figures raised their heads at the same time because of the collision. Look in the direction of Nara Hikari and the others. Dare to disturb our ceremony of praising God, damn it, kill them. All these figures took off their hoods and red robes at the same time. The battle suit inside was exposed. At the same time, a red long sickle appeared in his hand. There were men and women among them. Nara Hikari found that this weapon seemed to be the standard of these enemies. Almost everyone had one. Unlike Haydn, the long sickles of these people in front of him only had one sickle blade. Haydn's had 3 sections. Just as Nara Hikari was about to raise his hand to kill them directly, Yoshizawa Akiho grabbed his collar. Sister, that's sister, Master Hikari, please save sister. Yoshizawa Akiho shouted. Maybe the girl saw a familiar face and was rushing towards this side. She was very excited. Nara Hikari, who was about to release the energy of the fruit, stopped. Except for that woman, kill the rest. The surrounding ninja soldiers rushed forward. Ping ping pong pong. The sound of metal collisions suddenly rang out in the hall. Nara Hikari released his perception again. After sensing the momentum and chakra fluctuations of the enemies on the opposite side, it was surprising to find that more than 30 enemies were actually at the level of Kage. The strongest among them was the one who spoke before, infinitely close to the Super Kage. More than 30 Kage-level people, in Nara Hikari's opinion, are a force that cannot be underestimated in any country, but they encountered Nara Hikari. There was no need for Nara Hikari to take action. Under the siege of Kage soldiers and ninja soldiers, these enemies fell one after another. Nara Hikari knew that they had a special ability, which was to collect other people's blood for a special ritual to curse. After committing suicide, the owner of the blood would die together, but the Kage soldiers were made of dark energy, and the bodies of the ninja soldiers were made of fruit energy, and there was no blood at all. These enemies became more and more frightened and depressed as they fought. I don't know how long it took. An enemy swung a long sickle, and a red light flew out. At the moment when he was about to attack the ninja soldiers in front of him, he was instantly dodged by the Kage soldiers, but the wall behind was in a terrible state, with a big hole blasted out in an instant. Oh no, it's going to collapse. Asuka screamed, because the rubble above her head had already begun to fall off, but when the rubble just left the top of the hall, it floated there. This was Nara Hikaru's move, releasing the energy of the float fruit to support the entire top. Asuka breathed a sigh of relief when she saw this. Chapter 81. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although these enemies have good physical skills, they can't resist the special attack method of the ninja soldiers. One after another, the enemies fell to the ground and turned into corpses. They turned into headless corpses. Soon, Akiho Yoshizawa's sister was also subdued. She was pressed to the ground by a ninja soldier. Nara Hikari had a headache watching her crazy roar and struggle. Do I really want to waste a kaleidoscope for this woman? The only thing that can pull this woman out of this crazy state is Nara Hikari's kaleidoscope spirit imprint, looking at the woman's appearance, and then looking at Akiho Yoshizawa in the distance. Buy one get one free. It's not a loss. Mangekyō, open. The familiar sound effect did not sound, but Nara Hikari's pupils changed rapidly, then they began to spin. The girl slowly calmed down, and soon she calmed down. The ninja soldier let go of his hand, and returned to the form of ninja tools in Nara Hikari's hand. Nara Hikari put away the ninja tools and looked at the woman lying on the ground. The woman slowly raised her head. Master. Master? Yoshizawa Akiho was puzzled. Master. Asuka was startled. She just saw one of Nara Hikari's eyes change. She knew that the Uchiha clan's Mangekyō Sharingan. She had seen the power of the Uchiha clan's Sharingan in the Warring States period. Go aside first. Yes. The woman stood behind Nara Hikari. Yoshizawa Akiho quickly hugged the woman. Sister, it's great that you're still alive. Yoshizawa Akiho burst into tears. Who are you? The woman looked at Yoshizawa Akiho in confusion. Huh? Yoshizawa Akiho was stunned. There's something wrong with her memory. Let's talk about it later. As Nara Hikari finished speaking, the battle in the hall was basically over. He sensed that all the people lying on the ground had turned into corpses, and there was no one alive. Get out. Nara Hikari took back the shadow soldiers, and then put away the ninja soldiers. Yoshizawa Akiho's hands never left the woman's arms. The woman did not break free, so everyone went back outside. Nara Hikari took back the energy of the floating fruit. Boom. A violent roar sounded. The stairs behind Nara Hikari began to collapse, until this place was completely reduced to ruins. Let's go, leave here. But just as Nara Hikari was about to turn around and leave, his feet suddenly shook. Then the sound of an earthquake came from underground. The ground began to crack. Nara Hikari released the energy of the float fruit, lifted everyone up, and quickly reached the sky. Roar. Just as Nara Hikari left the ground, a huge head emerged from the ground. Then the forelimbs dug through the soil and gravel and stretched out. Soon a huge monster emerged from the ground. It roared at Nara Hikari in the sky. Nara Hikari released his perception and checked. The amount of chakra in this monster is enough to match half of a tailed beast. The appearance of the monster is very similar to an enlarged centipede. The face reminded Nara Hikari of the centipede elder in One Punch Man. There is a human face in the middle of the hideous face. After the monster roared, it faced Nara Hikari's direction, opened its huge mouth, and a ball of energy began to gather in front of its mouth. Tailed beast ball. No, the shape of the energy gathering is spherical like the tailed beast ball. When the energy sphere was as big as 2 floors, it was released by the monster. Nara Hikari released the energy of the explosion fruit and quickly filled the flying sphere. Explode, boom. The sphere exploded on the spot as soon as it left the monster's mouth. The exploding energy tore the monster's mouth apart. The monster screamed, explode. Then Nara Hikari sent the energy of the explosion fruit directly into the monster's body and exploded. The monster expanded rapidly like a balloon in an instant. Then it also exploded like a balloon. Blood and minced meat sprayed all around. Then it turned into a white mist and disappeared. Summoning beast. Swoosh! At the moment when Nara Hikari was puzzled, a figure in a red robe quickly swept away. Want to run? Nara Hikari directly released the energy of the floating fruit. The ground several miles below his feet began to rise, quickly separated from the surroundings. A large amount of rubble and vegetation collapsed and fell off, varied at a huge land as big as an island rose from the ground. The figure who was running away was also lifted into the air in surprise. Nara Hikari flew over his head. Explode, bang. The body of the man who just wanted to escape exploded instantly, then it quickly merged together. This recovery ability is worthy of an immortal body. Nara Hikari was surprised at first, and then sighed at the other party's abnormal recovery ability that could quickly gather even if his head exploded. Explode. Soon Nara Hikari released the energy of the explosion fruit more than a dozen times. The enemy's recovery speed finally slowed down, but it can still recover. Interesting. Explode. Nara Hikari continued to release the energy of the fruit. The enemy continued to recover, until dozens of times, the enemy finally turned into minced meat. This time no more gathering to recover. Nara Hikari was afraid that the other party would gather again, so he released the flame energy of the explosion fruit again. The extremely high temperature burned all the broken meat on the ground into ashes, and Nara Hikari stopped. At this time, Asuka and Yoshizawa Akiho in the distance were already stunned. Let's go, let's leave here. Nara Hikari controlled the floating land and returned to the ground, just landed in the original big pit. Done. Nara Hikari clapped his hands. Okay, your commission is completed, and I should also say goodbye. Nara Hikari looked at Asuka. Mr. Hikari, can you leave 2 days later? I haven't thanked you properly yet. No need, I still have a lot of things to do. Nara Hikari looked at Yoshizawa Akiho. What are your plans? If you have nowhere to go, why don't you go to the land of light with me? Nara Hikari made an invitation. Really, Mr. Hikari? Really? That's great, I don't want to be separated from my sister a long time ago. Nara Hikari looked at the woman standing aside. I don't know your name yet. Yoshizawa Kaihui. Okay, I'll call you Kaihui from now on. Asuka, we're leaving. Goodbye. We can go to the land of light when we have time. Okay, Master Guang. Asuka finished speaking. Nara Hikari took Yoshizawa Akiho and Yoshizawa Kaihui to the sky. They soon disappeared in the land of hot springs. On the way, Nara Hikari explained Yoshizawa Tsaihui's situation to Yoshizawa Akiho. Yoshizawa Kaihui had been overloaded with brainwashing and had lost her original memory. Yoshizawa Akiho then accepted the reality, but she secretly vowed to help her sister recover her memory. 1 day later, Nara Hikari returned to the land of light. He handed Yoshizawa Akiho and Yoshizawa Kaihui over to his mother Nara Masami to arrange accommodation. Nara Masami still didn't ask any more questions. In the following days, Nara Hikari was completely idle. He didn't expect that he would be idle. For 10 years, Nara Hikari did not accept the commission, because he felt that his body had changed, and every night, he always felt that someone on the moon was staring at this place. If Nara Hikari guessed correctly, there was a member of Yatsutsuki clan living there.